recording. Okay. All right then. So we have our question up the top there. So what do Tracks and Charlie's Country indicate about the importance of having control over one's life? Now we've just done looked at the notes here, so I'm going to be talking to you and the camera here. So we've looked over those notes there. We've looked at the big idea. We've looked at text A, ideas from Charlie's Country. We've looked at text B, ideas from Tracks, and we've looked at some similarities and differences. Now we need to put that into a paragraph. So the first thing we need to do is a topic sentence, and then we'll start with text A. In this case, will be Charlie's Country. We'll then compare to Tracks, and then we'll do our new insight. Okay, so we'll do the writing bit now, and on the video, hopefully it'll be now sped up in time lapse. Now, who's timing me? All right, go. And you need to be writing this down too, okay? Alright, so sorry people, just try as best you can to keep writing as you go, but I'm just going to try and talk through this now. Sorry? Yeah, can you stop timing me? How long was that? 12 minutes. 12 minutes, good, okay. So that's about right, so that should be about 12 minutes. Okay, so if you think about it, when you're doing your body paragraphs, you've got an hour in the exam. You've got longer in the SAC, but about 12 to 15 minutes for a body paragraph is about right, okay? So if you've done your planning and your note-taking beforehand, then it should be about that long, okay? So if you think about it, you've got your introduction, 3 body paragraphs, so 3 body paragraphs about 45 minutes-ish, and then you've got about another 15 minutes for conclusion and introduction, and then within your SAC you'll have time for proofreading and that. But in the exam situation, you'll probably need to be a little bit quicker, I think, so about 10-ish minutes per paragraph, okay? So that you've got some time for proofreading. All right, but that takes practice, and notice that, so I did this without notes, okay, but I'd done the pre-thinking, all right, so I had to create that video in order to go through the notes. I had to do stuff on text A and text B, and you'll notice that not all of it is in there, okay? In fact, I mean, I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I mean, looking at this, there's a whole lot of ideas that probably aren't in there, okay? So I'll just go through here. So you've got your topic sentence, okay? So both Charlie's Country and Tracks exemplify the necessity of characters to find a sense of agency and ownership of their own lives. Now, one of the things that I will point out is that what I've done here is I've used different words. Necessity instead of importance. Instead of, okay? I've used the words agency and ownership instead of control. Okay, So I've tried to use different language in my topic sentence that isn't just rabbiting off the same words in the essay question. Okay, the first part in blue is the text A bit. So in Charlie's country, Rolf to here. Notice that I'm mentioning the director there. Okay, Rolf to here presents Charlie within a contested space within his own land. The scene within which he requests his own house and job. Now, in this bit, if I was going to go back over it and I was going to do some proofreading, so let's say I've done my body paragraphs, I've got some time to proofread, I would go back here and say the scene within which he requests his own house and job. I would say something within here. The scene that provides a long shot within which Charlie requests his own house and land when he meets Earl, illustrates his desire to take some control of his own circumstances. I would add into here in doing this, Charlie is present within space as he seeks to embody his own wishes. Something like that. No, embody his own presence. No. His own ownership of the land. Okay? So I'm sorry if that's hard to read, but I'm just trying to go through, this is a proofreading thing. Alright, so for Charlie, his goals are simple. He seeks to belong and find purpose within his own land. Okay? There's your text A. Now we've got our in contrast. This is our comparative language. Okay? We're starting to compare now. Alright, we've done the text A. Notice this is very different to a text response. Okay, if it was a text response, it would be all this, all the blue. Okay, but we've just briefly sort of introduced text A. The rest of it is comparative. Okay, which is the nature of the task. So in contrast, Robin in contrast has a goal that is more pertinent to her own sense of self-discovery. The nature upon which she seeks to gain control of her life is in the simple gesture of connecting with the desert. However, this becomes thwarted by obstacles that she needs to adapt to. She needs to adopt and become a battle axe in order to achieve independence. Now, if you're proofreading, perhaps there could be something a little bit more clarified within there. She needs to become a battle axe within the context of a male-dominant environment. Okay, so if I was proofreading, I'd probably put that in there, okay, in order to achieve independence. Charlie, on the other hand, okay, comparative language, faces obstacles that he ultimately cannot change. When he seeks to hunt using a gun and a spear, these are taken from him, thus hindering his ability to carry out his goal to live free of systemic control. Now, systemic control being the white colonial influence. Here's more comparative language. In a similar way, Robin lacks any ability to fully control her journey due to her dependence upon National Geographic. And then the purple here is our new insight. So whilst both characters face challenges to seek agency within their lives, it is perhaps more vital for Charlie, considering that his identity is ultimately connected to land, whereas Robin will always be a guest. Now notice that in the last sentence there's a little bit of what's called a bit of a resolution, or kind of almost like a little concluding comment. Remember Karen Graham was talking about that at the end of your paragraph? You have some kind of a statement that says, you know, in light of all of this, we can conclude this kind of thing. And so we're saying, well, you know, considering all of this, Charlie is probably more affected by his lack of control than Robin is because of the connection to land. Okay, so that is the end of that video. I'll pause it now, I'll stop it now, and people can go and they can go over it and stuff. That went for 21 minutes.